This is the Negro Ninja. And today I just want to talk about, you know, the lies that you have been going through before you came to a realization. Now, call it what you want to. A lot of people going to say this is red pill or whatever. But a realization is a realization. Hoes been lying. Okay, growing up, people always made you think that women just despise sex. Okay, which is ironic because when I was a kid, hoes is the ones that put me on all the perverted shit. Okay, and to be honest with you, just continuing to, as I get older, chicks always introduce me something, new. Okay, to this very day. But for the most part, growing up before all the games really started, you really got to see how perverted women really was. And they sit up there trying to lie, trying to make it seem like women just hate sex. There's a lot of dudes, okay, that have been in relationships with women that just pretend like they just hate sex. What they'll be like, I just got to get to know you first and make you wait months at a time before y'all do something. Okay, that's how hoes be doing. Okay, this type of shit the Matrix is like Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, just like the dating game Matrix. You start off, okay, and you win or whatever. You don't think it's all that hard. Okay, you don't really quite know how to play that well. But you pass a couple of levels. Then you make it to level 3. And then the computer just start putting it on you. Okay, put it on you because in Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, it's all about clearing out your space and transferring the access to the opponent's space. Okay. And the goal of this is to do it as, efficiently as possible. And you just want to do it as ruthlessly as possible by getting these combos, called the whoopies and yahoos. Okay. And you just scrolling through the game. Okay, I think I got the hang of it. And then all of a sudden the difficulty just ramps up just out the blue. Just, to some people that's not used to those type of puzzle games, one would say it ramps up, unreasonably. Okay, so the computer, Yahoo, yippee, brrr, putting all that little clear white jello looking stuff on your side of the screen. That's what this shit here is like. And I'm supposed to play a Reddit story of a dude, okay, that's pretty much giving you the textbook example of what a lot of dudes basically was going through before they just was like, what, something just ain't natural. Just I don't care what nobody say, something ain't right about this shit. So let's listen to his story.
That I was in a really toxic relationship. I was with the same girl for over 5 years. Started in high school, so I'd never had an intimate relationship with anyone else. I was always very attracted to her and we'd had some great times early on, But
remember, you only know what's around you half the time. Okay, and not necessarily what's around you, because what if you went here and you just encountered the same thing here and encountered the same thing there? So you just basically used to what's been put in front of you. Okay, so to him that was normal. Okay.
Our relationship had long ago turned one-sided. Everything I was getting out of this was what I alone was putting into it.
And that's what it's like, dealing with a lot of women in the road for many dudes. Okay. And even if you know the truth, or not, that's still what they'll try to send towards you, because this is a game. This is still the Matrix. But the thing is, what do you believe? That's the most important part. So this is a lot to somebody that just thinks this is normal and they don't really know and haven't really been thinking about it that much. Okay, so that's an extra type of hell right there.
This girl also had, essentially, a non-existent drive.
This girl also had essentially a non-existent sex drive. Now, once again, it's funny how, at least from my experience, I just noticed growing up, when girls was very sexual, they very touchy. Bitches is the ones that put me on all this type of stuff, to be honest with you. And to this very day, they still introduce new things to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay. So, it's kind of funny how that operates. Then puberty hits and all this type of stuff. Then they want to act like girls just don't like sex. They just miss only men that just think about it. But I'm like, how come every time I look around when I was a kid, y'all was the ones touching me, telling me to do you like this and stuff like that? Shut your lying ass up. That takes time to just stop and think about stuff. But even then, that's easier said than done because you can only deal with stuff as it's coming to you. You don't just sit. You don't really necessarily got time to just sit and think. Let me just piece it together. This shit come at you just like Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, or just like Tetris even. Okay.
Which is fine, of course. That's not some error or problem on her part. Everyone deserves to do what they feel comfortable with if they ever feel comfortable with it.
And the truth is, that is not necessarily true in no dating sense. Okay, because both parties have a responsibility. And there's a scripture in the Bible that flat out tell the wife that if the husband asks for some pussy, you better be handing that pussy up. If your wife wants some dick, you better be giving her the penis. Okay, it's a responsibility. You can't just withhold sex from nobody like that. Just, oh, well, whatever I feel comfortable with. That's not how life works. Okay, I know a lot of people been living life like that, but these are cheaters. Okay, that's not, God is not going to say, oh, that's how life is. He's going to say that's a penalty. You should have been doing this. Okay.
And don't owe anyone anything more. The problem was how she responded to mine. Drive in 5 years we'd had. Maybe 15 times.
The problem was how this bitch responded to his sex drive. In 5 years, they fucked 15 times. Bitch. And that's what hoes have been doing. They'll just make you wait. And they'll just try to make you. And then, like I said, I think that a lot of dudes that fall victim to this type of stuff are dudes that had like a lot of women in the family. And of course, they're not going to really tell you nothing real because they all about concealing their own wholeness and shit. Okay. So whatever you're telling them about a bitch, they ain't gonna necessarily they're not gonna necessarily tell you because it's gonna reveal what they hiding from you. Okay, and that's one of the main reasons why the Bible most likely is telling you that women should not be teaching shit. Like it flat out says that in Timothy. Read Timothy. You bitches shouldn't be teaching nothing. Then I was listening to a thread earlier about masculinity and how a dude was saying that he noticed that he didn't really get the male teachers until he became a teenager. But in as an elementary school student and all this type of stuff, he didn't really have male teachers. He only saw like the principal being a male and how he associated male masculinity with negativity because you only get sent to the principal's office because you're in trouble. I'm like, this nigga here is telling the truth. Because a lot of dudes really, think about their dads the same way. The dad, he either buying you something or taking you out somewhere fun. And when you get in trouble, the daddy comes and disciplines you. That's not how it really should be set up. Okay.
And every single one became her go-to reminder for the next few months of how much she did for me. How selfless she was. I left jokes in her lunches that I packed every day. I bought her flowers and gifts at random just because I was thinking of her when I was at the store. I asked her once if she could start complimenting me more. Words of affirmation is my greatest love language.
This is the worst type of bitch. I'm telling you, this is the type of bitch that a lot of Negroes have been dealing with thinking that is normal. Okay, and once again, why else would you think is normal? Because when you complain about something, somebody always gaslighting you by telling you, you need to man up. And this is just how women are. This is just how women are. Even people teaching videos, oh, that's just bitch nature. Gaslighting you while they're trying to get you to look up to them. Ain't that a bitch? Okay. And then on top of that, when people around you, like if the women in your family essentially do the same thing but in different ways, of course you're going to think this shit is true.
He said that felt uncomfortable. She didn't even remember to get me a Christmas present last year. But hey, I let you get laid last month became a regular sentiment.
Such a bitch.
If I mentioned to her that I was feeling aroused, or told her how beautiful she was, she shrugged it off and made me feel like I was ceaselessly horny.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's how hoes been doing. That's what, and I think that's why, that's really one of the main reasons why a lot of dudes, would have what they call red pill rage. And like I said, red pill rage is like you thought you had something that wasn't that bad. Oh, it's not perfect. Maybe you did think it was bad, but it's way worse than you thought, and you just realized I could have had this, that, and this, and it pisses you off. Like you just know you just got hustled out of something. That's why them niggas be mad as shit.
I'd been scared of this relationship failing for 5 years. I knew there were things I was unhappy with, but it seemed more comfortable to come home to a 6/10 happiness than try to go out and find something higher.
And like I said, that's just what I'm saying, like with how that type of shit will come at a lot of dudes frequently, and then they'll blame the man. So what are you doing to attract this? Nigga ain't doing shit. Haven't you niggas realized this is a game? When you playing Super Mario Brothers, how many times do you see a Koopa Turtle? How many times do you see a Goomba? It's just that simple. Okay, what are you doing to attract this? You living, nigga. You being the type of nigga you are. That's just what it is. Okay. Why is the enemy there? To try to stop you or to hinder your path, to block your obstacle. That's why I can't really get behind niggas trying to, like if a dude got good judgment, you see that this nigga got a good head on his shoulders, why would you tell him some shit like that? They don't say shit like that to stupid motherfuckers. Like you ever see a dumb motherfucker, okay, they just get everything handed to him. They don't never say shit to that nigga. Okay, do they encourage him to keep being a retard to get the shit that he got? Stop and think about this for a second. Do they ever stop to think to tell this stupid motherfucker that has a jackpot, okay, that you should continue to be a retard? They don't even do him like that. Okay, they don't even tell this nigga, if you want to keep this, you need to stop being as dumb as you are. You got lucky. They don't do that type of shit. But you, well, maybe you should just change the way you think. And you know what it is? It is because the way you think is all to get you to just basically not be who you are and stuff like that. Like I was saying in the old video, they try to corrupt you with that Pookie and Ray Ray formula. Don't listen to shit niggas say. That's just another way they gaslighting. Continuing.
But then you nut, and your head clears, and I look down at the woman who refuses any position but missionary,
Bitch.
with whom foreplay or nudity is never allowed.
Bitch.
And she's frowning. I know the last 2 minutes will be thrown at me for months to come. This relationship just ended. I don't wish her ill for anything about her libido, but I'll be heartbroken for a while knowing how much I shamed myself for being attracted to my girlfriend and wanting to be intimate with her.
And like I said, dudes like that, okay, he probably had a lot of women in his family growing up that surrounded him. And like I said, usually dudes that they would say is decent falls victim to that type of shit regularly, I promise you. Okay, like I said, growing up, all the dudes that just walk around saying, oh, I fucked her, this, that, and this, half the time they be delinquents or, like a drug dealer. They just basically be dudes that's doing what the fuck will end up getting them arrested or shot or killed or something. And that's just something I noticed. They always doing something stupid, something bad. Okay, and why is that? Because they're living their life the same way they get them hoes. They ain't doing what they're supposed to get them. And they get them. Or at least they get chicks that do the opposite of whatever the hell he was going through with that bitch. Okay, so and that's a fact. Tell me I'm bullshitting. Okay, tell me I'm bullshitting. And once again, this is a game. Okay, and a lot of times these dudes that I'm talking about is a bully to somebody else. So remember what I was saying about the Goombas and this, that, and this being placed in your path to block the obstacles. Why would they send some stupid shit towards him? Now, well, when I say stupid, I mean something that don't really torture him as much as the shit that this dude in the store was going through. And like I said, dudes that are genuinely well-mannered and, polite and all this type of stuff usually gets tortured by these type of hoes. That's on my peep. Okay, and the last thing he said was, I don't wish her anything for her libido, but I'll be heartbroken for a while knowing how much I ashamed myself for being attracted to my girlfriend and wanted to be intimate with her.
How much I made myself feel that was wrong and I was perverted and insatiable.
Like I said, bitches are so dumb that they get dudes to gaslight themselves. But he's coming into a realization, and I'm sure he's going to come to this realization as well. Okay, and this realization would be this right here. Let me see this Instagram post. All right. I said the truth is that any bitch that feels like The truth is that any bitch that feels like sex objects or a piece of meat when a man wants sex is a whore. Because why else would they feel like that? At the end of the day, bitches are running from themselves whenever they talk standards. Because you got to just think about their standards. It's stupid. They don't have no realistic standards. Okay. Bitches don't be. It's like the Avril Lavigne song Skater Boy said. She needed to come back down to earth. Okay. I'm telling you. But, you know, they still live a comfortable life because, you know, they just wish for the stupid things. They just end up getting something good because of how high that is. You know, that it's like I said a while back, it's cowardice. They don't have no real set target. So they just figure, let me just throw it over here and just land in this particular zone. The shit is nowhere near as pinpointed as you think. Okay, it's just a system. These bitches got a program. Okay, they ain't doing nothing genius. Okay, the system just telling them, oh, this is how you live comfortably. Do what I say. Okay, that's just it. Think this way. Okay, because I was talking to a chick today who basically was telling me what her parents used to tell her about such and such and this, that, and this. So I said, yeah, the girls. I was telling her about some girls. I'm like, yeah, they be attractive, but they be seeming scared. She was like, yo, you know, parents be telling people this right here. And basically just telling me the shit that I was saying a while back about how people cop block you before they even know you exist on some shit like that. I'm like, see, I knew it. But going back to what I was just saying about that. Why else would a bitch feel like a piece of shit if a man wants some sex if they haven't been fucking 24/7? And then I remember somebody on my live stream when we was talking about these young chicks being more quality than these older hoes and how enthusiastic they look for the penis. It was like, of course, yeah. And I was saying something. I'm like, you know that these bitches be acting scared of the dick? He was like, of course, because they hoes. Okay, because they know what a dick would do to them. They know that they'll get attacked. You know, he was basically going ham. I think that's my boy Zeokin. Okay. He was like, these young girls, you can tell they ain't had a dick because they ain't scared of it. They want it. Okay, and that's the truth right there. That is the truth. But that whole story is going to hit home to a lot of people, you know, that's been lied to. You trying to be a good boyfriend and you just being finessed the whole time and shit. Just be a good boy. Like, I'm not saying that you was like that, but I'm just saying that's how they finesse you, just like a dog that they finna leave somewhere and drive off or something. Okay, that shit there is crazy. How these games be, bro. But like I said, that's why I just came to the realization. I'm like, I don't trust bitches that are not sexual. Like I said, everywhere I go, like even now, you know, with so much sexual attention. If a chick is not trying to do something that's sensual to please me, to ease my boredom or something, you ain't got no reason to be around me. Okay, I wish I thought like that as a youngster, as a kid. Okay, but once again, you being all cool and kind and shit, and oh man, I just want a woman that's, you know, it's good to want a woman that's a virgin, but that shit just should have been put in perspective. Okay, and then wrong with chicks being sexual, because they used to even, like, they even programmed us to a degree with the lies. Trying to make us think that a woman that's being sexual is a slut. That is not true. Okay, now I already broke it down perfectly in my videos just continuously, but that ain't how it is. Okay, she only a slut if she being, like, if she trying to let everybody, like if she doing something to flirt with you, but everybody got to be in on it. That's a slut right there. That's slutty. But if she just doing something and it's between you two, then that's sensual. Okay. But that story there is insane, man. All right. That is insane. That nigga was in the trap. But he's coming to the realization, though. He gonna learn the 100% truth, though. But like I said, that's one of the main reasons why that red pill rage be making so many dudes go hawk. They'll just hawk out on this shit. You know, because nobody likes to be made a fool of. Okay. Nobody likes to be made a fool of. That's a lot of work. You want something for your efforts. Okay, like I said, there has been dudes that did even less. You seen how he was, let's read what he said. And I don't appreciate people be trying to pick at dudes that be doing a lot. I'm like, oh, you a nice guy, just do what you want you. You a hoe ass nigga for saying that to a nigga. What, you want your daughter to be with a nigga that's opposite of that? It's funny how niggas go around doing dumb shit to bitches and then be simping for their own daughters and shit. Okay, then that'll be the type of nigga that they want their daughter to have. Ain't that ironic? Okay, let's see what he said he was doing. I left jokes in her lunches that I packed every day. That's a lot of thought and concern. And like I said, it's only natural for him to feel robbed. She would never do that for him. Showing true love. Basically, this is an empath dating a narcissist like a lot of other dudes was doing. I bought her flowers and gifts at random just because I was thinking of her. And like I said, I already know what it's like. Okay, and then it feel like the bitch ain't, and you get tired of that type of shit. You really get tired of it. Like I said, it is a pattern. And then the hoe will say, well, what are you doing to attract this? You're like, I ain't doing shit but being myself. So they basically just telling you, well, they're trying to get you to come to a realization. They want you to think it's a realization that what you and yourself is wrong. That's the matrix right there, trying to get you to gaslight yourself. What am I doing wrong? Maybe I need to be meaner to bitches. Like I said, a lot of dudes have been through that pattern. Okay, some dudes got stuck to that shit. Some dudes experimented with it and realized it was stupid. All right, let's see what else he did. About her flowers and gifts at random because I was thinking about her when I was at the store. This nigga here should have had this bitch. If she was smart, she would have married that dude. I once asked her if she could start complimenting me more. Words of affirmation is my greatest love language. And women know this. That's what women do. And like I said, until you know this type of stuff, like you'll see. They don't want you to know because they don't want to feel obligated to do this shit because they don't have nothing to offer. And like I say, the way people try to raise men, and I say the village raised the child. So it's people outside telling you half this dumb shit that you believed about bitches to begin with. Okay, and it just sets it up just so people around you don't have to do that much. Okay, and it set it up for you to go the extra mile so you can be more beneficial to everybody than they are to you. And once again, it don't just stop at hoes. It just stops from, bitches are the word and words of bitch. So people around him is doing him the same way. He probably just ain't talked about it. Okay, I'm pretty sure he caught that by now. Better be people around you trying to finesse you the same way. Ain't nobody doing you no favors. You doing everybody a favor. You looking out for them. They ain't looking out for you. They just laughing. Make you think that they eventually repay the favor, and they don't. Bitches are the word and words of bitch. And once again, that's one of the main reasons why when the niggas talking about hoes, they fear niggas. Because when you know a bitch, you know all the bullshit that's going on in society. And that's all I got to say for this rant. And this has been the Negro Ninja, bringing you your Negro message for today. Negro out.